There is one question that most people never ask themselves. Not about money, not about success, but about something deeper. What am I giving to this world? Today's story will answer that question, and it will change the way you see yourself forever. In a small dusty town in India, there lived a 17-year-old boy named Arjun. Every morning he would sit near the market entrance, holding a cardboard sign that said, "Hungry, please help." His father had begged. His grandfather had begged. To Arjun, this was simply life. Most people walked past him without a glance. A few dropped coins. No one ever stopped to talk. He was invisible. Not because he was unimportant, but because the world didn't know what to do with someone who only asked and never offered. Until one afternoon, a woman did stop. She wasn't rich looking. She carried a heavy bag of vegetables and wore simple clothes. But her eyes were sharp and kind at the same time. She looked at Arjun and asked a question no one had ever asked him before. "What are you good at?" Arjun opened his mouth and closed it. He had no answer. The woman sat down beside him and said, "I run a small tea stall. Every day people come to me not because they feel sorry for me, but because I give them something they want. Warm tea, a clean cup, a friendly smile. I give. They pay. That is business. That is life." Then she stood up and walked away. She didn't give Arjun a single coin. That night Arjun couldn't sleep. He kept asking himself, "What am I good at?" He turned the question over and over in his mind, and slowly a memory surfaced. As a child, he used to draw animals in the dirt with a stick. The neighborhood children would gather around and laugh with delight. The next morning, Arjun did something different. Instead of his cardboard sign, he picked up a stick and drew a beautiful elephant in the dirt. It took 20 minutes. When he looked up, 3 children were staring at it with wide eyes. "Did you draw that?" one asked. "Yes," said Arjun, and for the first time in years, he felt proud. He found old newspaper sheets behind a shop, folded them into squares, and used a piece of coal to draw portraits. When a mother walked by with her little girl, Arjun held up a drawing and said, "1 rupee, and I'll draw your daughter's face." The mother hesitated, but the little girl pulled her hand and said, "Please, Mama." Arjun drew the girl, big eyes, a little bow in her hair, a wide smile. When he showed her, the little girl gasped and hugged the paper drawing to her chest. The mother looked at the drawing, then at Arjun, then quietly placed 2 more rupees in his hand. That moment changed everything. Word spread through the market the way good news always does, quickly and warmly. "There's a boy near the entrance who draws your portrait for almost nothing." By the end of the week, Arjun wasn't begging at all. He was busy. A small queue of curious people formed each morning. He started charging 2 rupees, then 5, then 10. He wasn't rich yet, but something far more powerful had changed. He had stopped seeing himself as someone who needed the world's pity. He had started seeing himself as someone who had something to offer. The English word offer means to give or provide something to others. And when Arjun started offering, the world started responding. 3 months later, the woman from the tea stall turned the corner one morning and stopped. In front of the market entrance, where a boy with a cardboard sign used to sit, there was now a small wooden board that read, "Arjun's Portraits, 20 rupees per sketch." And behind it sat Arjun, focused, drawing carefully, while a young couple waited patiently. Arjun spotted the woman. He jumped up and ran to her and pressed a folded piece of paper into her hands. She opened it. It was a portrait of her, drawn from memory. Sharp eyes, kind face, a heavy bag of vegetables over one shoulder. At the bottom, in careful handwriting, were 4 words: "Thank you for asking." The woman looked up at him, and for the first time, Arjun saw that her sharp eyes had gone soft. "You found your answer," she said quietly. "You asked the right question," he replied. 2 people, 1 truth. A moment of gratitude, which means the feeling of being thankful for what someone did for you. Most people go through life asking the world, "What will you give me?" But the people who truly succeed ask a different question. What can I give? It doesn't have to be money. It can be a skill, a drawing, a warm word, a smile. The moment you shift from taking to giving, your identity shifts too. You stop being someone the world feels sorry for. You become someone the world needs. If this story moved you, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, what is one thing you can offer the world today? See you in the next story.